Hey, Brian, are you happy?
I hate WLD again. They suck my dick, but I'm happy.
What's this win mean to the team?
It means that we can keep our head out our ass and start playing football the way we're capable of playing.
Rude, obnoxious, foul, and distasteful. The Dolphins are cursing, and man, it's disgraceful, 'cause Brian Cox and the rest of them are saying,
suck my dick, lick my balls, shit on you, motherfucker.
Words of love they toss in the microphone. The dump button just can't seem to be left alone, and all of this is because they like saying,
suck my dick, lick my balls, shit on you, motherfucker.
Oh, but they play football badly.
I didn't say that.
How did the Patriots kick their ass?
Suck my dick.
When will they make it to the Super Bowl? But with an attitude as bad as theirs.
Say what?
They're tossing our hopes down the stairs.
Oh, man.
Rude, obnoxious, foul, and distasteful. The Dolphins are cursing, and man, it's disgraceful, 'cause Brian Cox and the rest of them are saying,
suck my dick, lick my balls, shit on you.
yes, they're saying,
suck my dick, lick my balls, motherfucker.
oh, they're saying,
suck my dick, lick my balls, shit on you. Suck my dick, lick my balls, shit on you, motherfucker.
What's going on now? All these people want tickets, and I punch them up on the air. They're using all our lines to get free tickets. Now we got no calls. Well, you lose. If you play that game and you don't say, I'm waiting for the tickets, I'm going to cut your ass off, and then you're going to lose out. And when you call back, George is going to say, and that's going to be it. WIOD.
Hello?
Ticket Central.
Hello, can I have the tickets, please?
For what?
Neil just announced some tickets that he's giving.
What are they for?
They're... Gee, I don't know. I guess I can't get them because I don't know what they're for, huh?
Well, I mean, if you wanted them for...
I can hardly hear you, sir, because the radio's on so loud.
But, I mean, if you wanted them free tickets and you don't know what they're for, why do you want... Just because they're free? You want them just because they're free and you don't even know what they're for?
You know what they're for? They're for the horse races.
For the horse races?
For they're for races in Pompano.
They're for races in Pompano at the Irish Fest? They're having horse races at Municipal Stadium?
Well, you tell me what they're for. I want them because I have some friends out of town. I want to give it to them.
For what? For the horse races?
I don't know what it's for.
Well, then why did you call? You heard that magic word, didn't you? Fwee, right? Isn't that what you did? You heard Neil say fwee. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
You want them?
Yes, I would like them if I could get them.
Hold on. Oh, I want to be fwee, man, fwee. That's the magic word in South Florida, man. Fwee. If it's fwee, we take it. We don't care what it is. We don't know where it is or what it's all about, but it's fwee. We got it.
In print journalism, and I just wanted to know what advice do you have for young people coming up into the field? Like a lot of professors are telling us how hard it is to get into the field at first. I'd just like to know, since you're in the field, do you have any advice on that? For instance, experience, is that important?
Sure.
Is that probably the most important element?
Well, it's way up there.
It's way up there. Anything else? Anything you did?
Pressure under fire.
Mm-hmm.
Done this before. I don't want it to be his first surgery.
Okay.
Applied himself well.
Mm-hmm.
These are things I'd have confidence in a young MD.
Okay. I'm talking about journalism field.
I'm lost. What do you mean?
The journalism, like, I'm a student of journalism at a college, and I was just wondering the most important aspect of getting into journalism, not the medical field. I think you're exhausted from 30 nights.
I am exhausted from 30 nights. No person, even those of us who are superhuman, those of us with Herculean appetites for the diverse and the bizarre, even those of us who have shown an aptitude to fight the good fight and stay the good long battle, even those of us can get tired. And your boy is tired after 30 consecutive nights. I have a half hour to go, and I'm going to do that half hour because I'm a pro. That's what pros do. I'm a professional. Look it up in the book.
Okay.
That's what we do. We're pros. We're never rude. We don't cop out. We don't tell you that we're ill or that we're looking for the farmhouse in the middle of the desert or that we're parched. We don't tell you that maybe the check didn't come through this month, and where the hell does it go anyway if you're a guy who's left 16 forwarding addresses.
Okay.
So what do you do? What is the answer? Yeah, you're a little perturbed now. Kind of worried about the club.
The club?
Don't worry about the club. Worry about maybe Jackie might worry. Nah, don't worry. Okay, just cool it. Life is a breeze. Of course, some breezes, as you know, are 110 miles an hour and get promoted up the hurricanes. I just thought I'd pass that along. Speaking of pass it along, we're going to pass it along now to the newsroom, the Mutual Newsroom, high atop the overlooking beautiful downtown studios of Washington, Virginia, Washington, D.C. The Mutual Newsroom will get us up to date on the news headlines, and we'll come back with a little more open phone America. We'll have our salute to my man, Duke Siebert, by taking him to one of his favorite places, one of mine, too, the town of Cooperstown, New York. This is the Larry King Show in Washington, and we'll be right back.
Who's back?
Larry.
Oh, can I hear him now? Larry.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. I can almost hear you now.
I'm going to move around the plane.
Yeah? Well, don't move too much.
I don't understand how astronauts could talk from the moon, and I can't talk from the plane.
Yeah.
Sounds like the plane landed.
Anyway, no, we're still. I'm looking out over the Rockies.
You're still in the air?
I'm in the air.
How about the plane?
Good question, Neil.
Now, you didn't really say...
The worst talk radio I ever heard in my life was on WIOD.
You didn't really say that, did you?
Yeah, I did. I can't believe that station, except for you, Neil.
I knew he loved me. I knew it.
I love Neil Rogers.
Do you?
I'll tell you the problem with the station.
This is
Whenever I'm in Miami, first, whoever the general manager is...
Bob Green. In fact, Bob, you know something? Bob is still wiping the tears from his eyes from the last conversation. We said we got Larry King on the phone. He's in the other room right now weeping like a woman. Seriously, he is.
I'm going with Bar Mitzvah.
Are you? In about 4 or 5 years. He's not old enough yet.
When he makes it, yeah. Then,
how about going to his bris? That would be even better.
With the guy in the afternoon does 1,000 voices, right?
Yeah, Phil Hendrie.
He doesn't. He's ashamed of his own.
Huh?
He's ashamed of his own.
Yeah, he's ashamed of his own voice. That's right.
Yes, he does other voices.
Right.
Neil, how do you account for 20 years?
How do I feel?
How do you feel?
I feel like Methuselah on a bad day. That's how I feel. I feel like I just sat down with Ucola Katzenstein at WKAT and started my first day, and I went to the First National Bank on Alton Road, and she said, "Do you feel rich now, Neil, for $215 a week?" That's how I feel. Incredible.
What was your first break?
Listen to this, Larry.
I went to work and knocked on doors and got a job at a small radio station in Miami Beach, Florida. I did everything. I did the board, I did jock, I did sports, I did news, I did everything. Cleaned up, I did everything.
Is that true?
Yeah, but when you play those tapes, which obviously is part of your shtick, and you have it repeated.
Yeah.
Why do you do that over and over?
For emphasis. We want to make sure they...
Why don't you do something new?
Our audience is a little bit slow. We want to make sure they catch it the 40th or 50th time.
Yeah, 15 years slow.
Exactly.
Try a top 10 list.
Okay, top 10, that's good. I'll start ripping off David Letterman. That would be good. That's original. Hey, listen, there's a guy here that wants to talk to you. You're going to pee in your pants right there on the plane when you hear this voice.
How are you, Larry? Larry.
Say it again.
I said, Larry, how are you?
Who is that?
How soon they forget.
Who is that?
Your hockey friend.
You? Rimmer.
Right.
It's the Grim Rimmer.
Rimmer, what are you doing in that studio?
I came to see my good friend Neil Rogers.
You're the guy he liked.
And not all that much either, Larry. Don't get carried away.
Well, I knew he liked someone. He likes you, Rimmer.
Hey, can't beat it. Join it.
We scored in the last minute and tied you, Rimmer.
I know. I thought you'd be here last night.
Oh, now he's a Capitals fan. Now he's a Capitals fan. All of a sudden, they got lucky and got a point. Now it's we. Nice going, Larry.
I'm honorary captain of the Caps. Rimmer will tell you.
Yeah, he is honorary captain.
Yeah, you and that Craig Berube, you make a good pair.
I'm going to come down in 2 weeks for spring training, and I'm coming to the Rogers studio.
All right.
I'll pick you up and bring you.
That's a deal. I'm inviting you right now. Anytime you're in town, you come in here.
I'm coming. You ring. Cheryl will call me. I'll call her. I'll be there.
We'll feed you. We'll get from the Villa Deli on Walton Road on the beach. We'll bring you the best deli you've had since that crazy place you keep plugging on the air, and it'll be a picnic.
Happy anniversary, Neil.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay, baby.
Okay.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye-bye. Don't drop Pat too hard.
I'm suffering from sexual frustration. Sometimes my hand's the only friend I've got. At times like these I practice masturbation and come a lot. I have to keep them hidden from my mommy. These pornographic magazines I bought, I look at them while stroking my salami and come a lot. Come a lot. Come a lot. I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but I come a lot. And it's enough to fill a mason jar. And after I have finished masturbating, I'll see a glob that looks a lot like snot. In short, there's simply not a more disgusting spot than that big stain upon my bed sheets when I come alive.
This is from a medical book, okay, just to make sure. See, if it's a medical thing, then it's okay. If it's like some smart-ass thing, then it's filthy. But if it's a medical, intellectual thing written by a medical doctor, then it's, of course, okay, which I think is, quite frankly, a pile of crap. It's headlined, Unusual Case, Scrotum Self-Repair. One morning I was called to the emergency room by the head ER nurse, he writes. She directed me to a patient who had refused to describe his problem other than to say that he needed a doctor who took care of men's troubles. The patient, about 40, was pale, feeble, and obviously uncomfortable, and had little to say as he gingerly opened his trousers to expose a bit of angry red and black and blue scrotal skin. Have you ever met angry skin? After I asked the nurse to leave us, the patient permitted me to remove his trousers, shorts, and 2 or 3 yards of foul-smelling stained gauze wrapped about his scrotum, which was swollen to twice the size of a grapefruit and extremely tender. A jagged zigzag laceration, oozing pus and blood, extended down the left scrotum. God, this is in the middle of the lunch hour, man. Amid the matted hair, edematous skin, edematous, as in edema? How do you pronounce that? And varied exudates. I saw some half-buried, what are you having for lunch today? Oh, varied exudates. I saw some half-buried dark linear objects and asked the patient what they were. Several days earlier, he replied he had injured himself in the machine shop where he worked and had closed the laceration himself with a heavy-duty stapling gun. The dark objects were 1-inch staples of the type used in putting up wallboard. We x-rayed the patient's scrotum to locate the staples, admitted him to the hospital, and gave him tetanus antitoxin, broad-spectrum antibacterial therapy, and hexachlorophene zitz baths prior to surgery the next morning. There's nothing like a hexachlorophene zitz bath to get you off on a right start. The procedure consisted of exploration and debridement of the left side of the scrotal pouch. 8 rusty staples were retrieved, and the skin edges were trimmed and freshened. The left testis had been avulsed and was missing. The stump of the spermatocord was recovered at the inguinal canal, which is right next to Fort Erie, debrided, and the vessels ligated, whatever it is, properly, though not much of a hematoma was present. Through and through, Penrose drains were sutured loosely inside, and the skin was loosely closed. Convalescence was uneventful, and before his release from the hospital less than a week later, the patient confided the rest of his story to me, not to Paul Harvey, but to the doctor. An unmarried loner, he usually didn't leave the machine shop at lunchtime with his co-workers. Finding himself alone, he had begun the regular practice of masturbating by holding his penis against the canvas drive belt of a large floor-based piece of running machinery. One day, as he approached orgasm, he lost his concentration and leaned too close to the belt. When his scrotum suddenly became caught between the pulley wheel and the drive belt, he was thrown into the air and landed a few feet away. Unaware that he had lost his left testis, and perhaps too stunned to feel much pain, he stapled the wound closed and resumed work. I can only assume he abandoned this method of self-gratification, says the doctor, William A. Morton.
Put on my 501s and I headed for the street. Just checked out the best of Hustler and I'm starting to feel the heat. Suddenly I see people checking out my button fly seam. Yeah, I got a first class riser. It done pitched the tent in my jeans. Now I'm sporting a Woody. I'm finding it impossible to conceal. I'm sporting a Woody. I feel like an axle without a wheel. Saw the ghost of Elvis. He was sporting one too. Followed him up to the gates of Graceland just to see what he would do. His ghostly face was beaming as he headed for his room. There's a pretty little ghost, she's waiting for his post down in the jungle room. We're sporting Woodies in Memphis. It's nearly impossible to conceal. Sporting Woodies in Memphis. I feel like an axle without a wheel. Sporting Woodies in Memphis. It's almost impossible to conceal. Sporting Woodies in Memphis. I feel like an axle without a wheel.
The gay James Bond is back.
Brown finger, he's the one with the stinky finger.
The gay James Bond excited you in The Guy Who Loved Me, From Russell with Love, Dr. Yes, Thunderballs, Octopenis, and Never Say Never to Rear End.
Call me Susan St. James Bond, maybe.
Now the gay Bond is back in Brown Finger.
Oh, you got me from behind again, 007 inches.
I can smell evil, and I know you are the butt of all evil, blowfella.
Let me just put this on the stereo, Mr. Bond. Oh, you know I can't resist, Judy Garland. I can't fight you, blowfella. This music, it's entrancing. Do you feel like dancing? Let me call in my evil henchman, Hand Job.
Oh, you wanted to see me, Mr. Blowfella?
A spank, Mr. Bond.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, clever blowfella. Get me to fall in love and I'll spill the beans.
Not this time, Mr. Bond.
S&M gave me those exploding anal beads. Now, if I could just get him into bed.
Mr. Bond,
I see the spanking had no effect. I have something that will scare you into submission. Not pussy no more. Oh, no. We got rid of that fish. Remember the guy with the sharp-pointed metal teeth? Jaws? Yes, Jaws.
What are you thinking, Blowfella?
Bring in Jaws and bring in the knee pads.
Brown finger, he's the one with the stinky finger.
The Gay James Bond returns in Brown Finger. Coming soon.
Here's some tape for your mouth, Marge shot. Wrap it around really tight. Take two. We've taken your power away from you. Maybe we'll hear no more shit out of you, sweetie Marge. You're nothing but a dumb fuck, an asshole, a bigot, a schlong with ears, and it's 1, 2, maybe 3 years till your ass is out of here. Nothing but a dumb fuck, an asshole, a bigot, a schlong with ears, and it's 1, 2, maybe 3 years till your ass is out of here.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about bridges.
About what?
Cars and boats that you talked about earlier.
About what?
Bridges, cars, and boats.
No, we're talking about bridges over the causeway, not the ones in your mouth.
I don't have any, my friend.
Okay.
Okay?
Just
yeah.
calm down,
Over
sir. Take a
causeway,
deep
fine
breath.
and dandy. Those are regulated by the United Corps of Engineers. You knew that, didn't you?
No.
Well, it is. All bridges over navigable waterways
See, if
are
I
regulated
knew
by
that, I wouldn't have been asking, see?
What's that?
I said if I knew the answer to the question, I wouldn't have asked it in the first place.
Okay, well, all I'm saying, sir, is that the United States Corps of Engineers are the ones that regulate bridges over navigable waterways.
Over what?
Navigable waterways.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's up to them to decide what time
Yeah.
the bridges should not be open to the marine traffic.
Yes? And what time should they not be open to marine traffic, sir?
I'm telling you that they come up with the times.
Well, what is the time?
I believe it's at rush hour times, sir, that they are not open to marine traffic. Other than that, they are open to marine traffic.
So, in other words, any schlep with a boat can come along and back up traffic for 2 miles.
That is absolutely correct, sir.
Well, what kind of a communist bunch of crap is that?
That is not a communist bunch of crap, sir.
Sounds like
You
some
have-
kind of
wait,
Neanderthal
hold it a minute,
fascist
sir.
commie pinko
You've got
conspiracy
5,000
to me.
automobiles to one boat.
Right, exactly.
So the boat is going to stop for 5,000 cars? Is that it?
No, I think that 50,000 cars ought to stop for one jackass in his boat. I think that's what they ought to do.
Man, you better know your laws, mister, because you sure don't.
That's right.
I suppose you want the damn bridges closed to boat traffic in a hurricane, too.
I want the bridges closed, period, okay? I want them closed. I want the bridge tender to go home and watch MTV and get the hell out of our lives.
In other words, you
I
don't
want
like
those
the boat,
bridges
do you?
closed. Let them use the Julia Tuttle, okay?
You don't-
Let them
you
use the
don't- you
MacArthur
don't like the
Causeway.
boat, do you?
I think they all ought to go on the George Washington Bridge and jump, all the bridge tenders. How do you like that, sir?
Well, I don't know about you, but you sound like some stupid, idiotic jerk.
Now back to the Neil Rogers program on 1240 WGBA. Here again, America's youngest talk show host, 6-year-old Neil Rogers.
Okay, I guess we're done with mail. And there's 4 minutes left in the hour. So let's take some calls. Orleans, hello.
Yeah, Neil, how's it going?
Great.
That's good. Listen, I canceled my subscription to the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle.
The good old DNC. What an abortion that paper is.
Then I asked how many other people did likewise, and they said none of my business.
Yeah, well, they're real nice over there.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd let you know.
You're a fine American. Have a nice life. Waterloo, hello.
I want to speak to Neil.
You got him.
Am I on?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Neil, you're a stinky, pinko, glue-sniffing bedwetter and a pansy.
Great call. Best of the day so far. Did he say pansy? Where does he get off? What a mung brain. I ride my bike 30 miles every Saturday to do this show, and this guy calls me names. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. By the way, have you seen some of those bag boys at the new AMP? Now what are you cackling about, egg? Is this my son? A million producers in the world, and they stick me in here with an egg. Shut his mic off. Seneca Castle, hello.
Oh, Neil, you used to be such a nice boy, and now you're so terrible.
Yeah, but you can't shut it off. You can't shut it off. I don't need this. I have offers from other stations. Batavia, Elmira, Fredonia. But instead, I stay here and entertain you grotesque, subhuman doodlebags. Unbelievable. Geneva, hello.
Hello, is this Neil Rogers?
What kind of phone are you on, sir?
How's that again?
Do you have a dial phone or what?
No, I had to put it to the operator.
Well, let's not get into that.
Hey, I was listening to Joey Reynolds on WKBW last night.
Somebody has to.
Did you hear what he's been saying about you?
No, I don't listen anymore. He's a doddering old man.
He claims he's only 40.
Yeah, right. And Joey beat Truman, too. Oh, shut up, Egg. You're pathetic. And if you think he's bad now, wait till he hatches. Oh, boy. Okay, when we come back, maybe the egg will come out of his shell. But I hope not.
Well, I'd also like to say that to the asshole that was driving in front of me on US 1 that threw the Wendy's cup outside the door, outside of his window, you're an asshole, and if I catch up to you, I'm going to fucking hit your... Oh, God, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Some stations give you cars. Some stations give you cash. But this station's going to help you celebrate Mardi Gras. That's right, Mardi Gras.
Fat Tuesday.
New Orleans.
The French Quarter.
Unfortunately, we can't afford to actually send you to Mardi Gras, so we're doing the next best thing.
We're bringing Mardi Gras to you.
Just be the 10th caller when you hear this sound. And station representative Joe the Knife Kuzmino will come over to your house, get blind, stinking drunk, throw up on your shoes, and show you his tits.
Just like they do at Mardi Gras.
Then he'll fall into a drunken stupor on your front lawn, reeking of gin and covered with his own vomit.
Just like they do at Mardi Gras.
Is New Orleans a fun town or what?
This station accepts no responsibility in the event that Joe the Knife's Mardi Gras celebration gets so far out of hand that you both wind up on the next Cops, the stuff we couldn't show you on TV video. Although we'd be very interested in viewing any footage of Joe's tits.
It's Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
And boy, are you going to wish you were there.
Keep listening for your chance to win.
You know, Bob Green, I want to tell you something. You're all a bunch of son of a bitches. I just heard what you said.
What did I...
You want to get rid of this old kike on the phone. You're going to pretend that you care. Who the fuck are you?
Well, excuse your language now. That's fair.
Excuse your language.
Oh, well, wait just a second, ma'am. I didn't say anything.
Yes, you did.
On payday, Mr. Goodbar wanted a bit of honey, so he took Miss Hershey behind the pie house on the corner of 5th Avenue and Clark Street. He began to feel her mounds as his butterfingers went up her Kit Kat and caused the Milky Way. She screamed, "Oh, Henry, I'm forever yours," as she squeezed his Peter Ball and caressed his Zagnuts. His Hershey said, "You're even better than the Three Musketeers." Soon she was a bit chunky, and she gave birth to a baby Ruth.
Asshole, Mickey Arison's such an asshole. He's got the money, he's got the heat. He's got no purpose and he hasn't got the meat. Asshole, asshole. That Mick is such a gaping asshole. Don't buy the Herald unless you speak of the spick. Hey Ritter, suck my dick. Asshole, asshole. Hey Tony Ritter, you're an asshole. I've read your Herald and all your smut. I use your paper now to wipe at my greasy butt. Asshole, asshole. Mick is the quintessential asshole. He makes Huizinga look like a god. Hey rich boy, feel my wad.
When I get out of here, I'm gonna take care of that dick.
Are you talking about your brother or mine?
Jeez, I keep forgetting. They got the same name.
Well, what makes you so sure it wasn't my dick that got us in trouble?
Oh, it was my dick, all right. Last night I jerked him around a little. I think he got sore.
Well, I'm gonna jerk your dick's head right off. I hate that little bastard.
Hey, he ain't little. You don't know much about my dick.
No, I tell you, I can't control my dick either.
At least he didn't get us thrown in jail.
Yeah, but my dick ain't got no head, I tell you.
Yeah, I got one hard dick.
Well, who would have known he worked undercover?
Not me. My dick's got a mind of his own. He's gonna pay, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap your dick around a tree, then I'm gonna run over him with my car, and lastly, I'm gonna suck that big dick right through the paper mill downtown.
Not if I get to it first.
Yeah, if you get to it first.
Dick's on the Run, tonight on the Main Event Movie. Due to mature subject matter, parental discretion is advised.
Here's a lady in North Miami Beach.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
You?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, good morning. How
Good.
are you?
I'm wonderful.
Well, what is your favorite dish in Chinese food?
What is my favorite dish
Yeah.
in Chinese food? Some young guy.
Huh? That is, oh, you mean the chicken, right?
Oh, what a comedian. Man, where are you playing this week?
Huh?
Michael Jackson, the king of pop. You know him, you love him. Now, here's your chance to see a part of Michael you've never seen before. This weekend, appearing live at the Coliseum, it's Michael Jackson's penis. You've heard so much about it, now see it perform live. After years of doing nothing, it's finally breaking free. Michael Jackson's penis. Live. It's finally coming out of the closet. See exactly what made Lisa Marie come. Running. Michael Jackson's penis live. MJ's pee-pee. See the little fella you've heard so much about live and in person. Michael Jackson's penis appearing live at the Coliseum this weekend. It'll be short and sweet. Michael Jackson's penis live. Brought to you by Little Man Productions. Sponsored by Clorox. Michael Jackson's penis is in no way associated with Michael Jackson Productions.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? It is our privilege to bring you at this time an eyewitness report of the first International Crepetation Contest. We are speaking to you from the ringside of the great Maple Leaf Auditorium, which is packed to the rafters with spectators, eager and curious. For the benefit of my listeners who are not acquainted with the facts relating to this event, it might be well to describe the two contestants. Lord Windesmere from Wapping Foghole in Devonshire is, of course, the champion of the British Empire. The challenger is Paul Boomer, native son of Australia, who, I understand, worked his way to Canada in the crew of an ocean freighter carrying a load of Melbourne cabbage, upon which, so it is stated, Boomer trains exclusively. I see now there's a bit of a flurry around Lord Windesmere's entrance. And yes, here he comes, Lord Windesmere. I'll see if I can get him to come to the microphone and say a few words. Joe, will you see if we can get his lordship to come over here for a minute? Tell him it's for the radio.
Okay, I'll get him for you.
Thanks. Well, Lord Windesmere appears to be in good spirits. He's smiling and chatting. Thrown about him is a beautiful silk dressing gown of perfect purple velvet upon which is worked, I imagine it to be the coat of arms of the House of Windermere. It's a beautiful thing. Good boy, Joel. In just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to have his lordship himself come to the microphone and say a few words. Right over here, please. Right over here. Yeah, right here. Yes. Yes, folks, here he is. Right in the microphone, the champion himself, Lord Windermere. Your Highness, how did you come to take an interest in this unusual art?
Well, I suppose you could say it all started over Lady Windermere's fan.
I see.
Yes, I noticed she was constantly waving this fan in front of her face, so I asked her why the deuce she did it. So she retorted that if I insisted on constantly crepitating, she had to fan away in pure self-defense, you see. So, my friends were drawn into the controversy and persuaded me to capitalize on my proficiency and sort of going for it and all that. That's all.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Thank you, and good luck to you. That was Lord Windermere, a champion crepitator of the British... Oh, and here's the challenger. Here's Paul Boomer from Australia. Paul, over here, please. Please, ask Mr. Boomer to come over here, please. The radio. We want to speak on the radio. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll have Paul Boomer for you right away. Yes, here he comes. His attendant has just pointed us out. And how did Paul? How? He just waves his hand in greeting and starts walking over to the microphone. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Paul Boomer. Will you say hello to our audience, Mr. Boomer?
Hello, Canada.
Now tell me, sir, when did you first realize that you were proficient enough to take a shot at the Empire Championship?
Well, ever since I was a little nipper, I liked to fart. I remember I used to make my mother and father laugh their bleeding heads off when I used to let one go in church during the announcement of the ladies' aid.
Excuse me, Mr. Boomer. On the radio, we call it crepitating.
Now, look here, cobber. What I always says is, a fart's a fart, whether you raise up on one cheek and sneak, or whether you give it a full blast like I do.
Very well. As long as the CBC is no objection. I personally find the four-letter word much easier to say and more descriptive than the longer and more academic crepitating.
Thank you. And I would like to say...
Oh, and there's the bell. Thank you, Mr. Boomer. And good luck. Paul Boomer hurries off to the center of the arena to meet the champion and to receive instructions. Now the house lights are dimming, and the great flood of high-powered electric lights cascade down onto the center of this great arena where stands, in simple eloquence, the farting post. The farting post is about 4 feet high and is decorated with red, white, and blue bunting up to about 9 inches from the top. The bare top section is worn smooth by the grip of many hands in previous contests. And now it appears that Paul Boomer is to be the first at the post. Now, that, I believe, is customary for the challenger to make the first effort. Yes, Paul Boomer takes off his dressing gown and strides to the farting post. He grips it firmly around the top and flexes his knees. The signal to commence has not yet been given, so we may assume that these are just preliminaries. I think I have time to describe Mr. Boomer's outfit. He's stripped from the waist up and wears a tight-fitting trunks of powder blue trimmed with scarlet. These trunks are similar to those worn by wrestlers with one important difference. Excuse me. There's a hole about 6 inches in diameter removed from the seat. This, of course, has been done for obvious reasons. This symmetrical aperture is called the fenêtre de brise, literally translated meaning the zephyr window. Mr. Boomer's fenêtre de brise has a scarlet trim around its perimeter, giving a very provocative air to this genial Australian backside. And there goes the signal to commence. You might have heard it over the microphone, a blast on the medieval Bronx Spiegel, the traditional woodwind instrument associated with this sport for centuries. Now a hush falls on the vast throng as Boomer walks slowly, deliberately to the farting post. He's exuding confidence, and he gives one last all-encompassing grin to the tense audience as he grips the farting post between a pair of hands that look as though they could splinter the post. Now he flexes his knees, much in the manner of a boxer. He seems to be concentrating on the very top of the farting post. You can hear a pin drop, and here it comes. Oh, a beauty, a beauty. I think it was a triple flutter blast. Yes, that's what the judge signals. A triple flutter blast. That gives him 25 points right off the bat. And another of the same, and another 25 points. That followed by two, I beg your pardon, 3 fuzzy farts in rapid succession. It's amazing how this man can change pace and style of offering by a slight, simple shifting of his buttock area. He's still gripping the post in complete concentration. Boomer now has a score of 65. Those last three fuzzy farts at 5 points apiece, adding 15 to his previous score. And now here's something coming. A flooper, a perfectly executed flooper. What's that? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That was a follow-up flooper. The second time in the history of this sport that a follow-up flooper has been achieved in open competition. The only other time, I believe, was during the World Series held in Europe in 1783. During the course of this series, Francois Fouf, the famous French farter, after leaving a follow-up flooper, defeated Sandy McWind, his Scottish opponent, by only one bloop and then dropped dead. As you know, since then, in honor of Monsieur Fouf, the bloop had been dropped from open competition. And now the score is 105 for Boomer. Flooper, of course, counts 10 points, but a follow-up flooper, a very difficult maneuver, gives 40 points. Well, this certainly has been a whirlwind session. I think that Paul Boomer is about played out, or blown out, as they say. What am I saying? And he's not through yet, apparently. Wait a minute, here comes a threep. Oh, a little threep, worth only 2 points and very dangerous. And another threep. Well, not bad. Well, he's certainly putting up a fight. Well, he's certainly putting up a fighting finish. 4 threeps, a very hazardous fart because of the danger of plotching. But giving him 8, a very valuable point. And there he throws up his hands. He throws up his hands as a signal that he's finished. And the crowd gives him a tremendous ovation. He's sitting down, looking a little pale, a little wan perhaps, but smiling happily at the crowd. This man has a definite charm about him that has endeared him to all except the most rabid Windesmere fans. And his result, wait a minute.
Oh, Boomer! 123 points!
Did you hear that? Paul Boomer, 123 points, a world's record, beating Lord Windesmere's previous world mark of 119 by 4 points. Paul Boomer at this moment is the world's champion. But for how long, we don't know, because Lord Windesmere might take it right back again. And his lordship now walking up to the post, apparently not in the least disconcerted by the brilliant performance of the challenger. He's outfitted a little differently from Paul Boomer. He has purple tights, full-length tights, and around the fenêtre de brise, you remember the hole cut out from the center of his seat, around this there's a fringe of little gold tassels about 4 inches long. This, no doubt, is some decoration affected by... just a moment. Seems to be some sort of a dispute here. Paul Boomer and his seconds are on their feet and seem to be arguing with the judges and pointing to the fringe on their champion's posterior. Oh, I see. Paul Boomer is claiming that the fringe might add a whistle or some other sound to Lord Windesmere's efforts and so increase their value. And after all, in a closely fought contest like this, every little advantage must be jealously watched. The judges appear to be agreeing with Paul Boomer, and they direct the champion to remove the fringe. He doesn't like the decision very much, and the crowd's getting resentful. They think he should be a better sport about it. And I agree with him. Oh, he seems to have decided that he's got to give in, and he rips off the fringe and flings it to the ground. Then he walks over to where Boomer is sitting. He turns his back, puts his hands on his hips, and he leaves a threep right in Paul Boomer's face. The crowd get a kick out of this. As you know, a threep is a very low scorer, only 2 points, but to throw one away just in a gesture of defiance demonstrates the spirit of dash and recklessness which has made the Englishman the champion that he is. He's smiling disdainfully now as he returns to the center of the arena. He nods to the judge to show he's ready, and hello, what's this? He's not going to use a farting post. Lord Windesmere, the champion, in a final gesture of contempt, scorns the use of the farting post. Well, this is developing into a bit of a grudge contest. He has his hands on his hips, feet apart, knees slightly bent, and a sizzler. His first attempt is, and another one. 2 in a row, and another one, a third. 3 sizzlers in a row, a tremendous effort. 60 points in his first 30 seconds. This time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fuzzes. 4 fragrant fuzzes in rapid succession. It's a pleasure to see the ease and comfort with which his lordship leaves his fart. Perfect technique. And now his score is 80 points. 80 points in the first 30 seconds of the post. Now he's getting ready again. Hands on hips. A little bit red in the face as he strains to... Oh, something there. Wait a minute. Something's wrong. His attendants run into him. He's in some kind of distress. I see. Yes, the judge's signal. It was a plotcher. Oh, hard luck, your lordship, sir. Hard luck. The champion left very bad clutcher and will be penalized 15 points. That puts him back to 65 points, 59 short of the 124 he needs to retain his championship. He's all set again and seems to be straining a little more cautiously. And here is... a fundus break. Oh, a beautiful bit of wind-breaking virtuosity. A most difficult part to perform without clutching. This man has wonderful control, and the crowd are really warming up to him. That fundus break counts 30 points, and it takes Lord Windesmere up to 95 points. It's getting very tense now, and here it is. Here is the next one. A trill blow. 10 points, followed by a resounding single flutter blast. I think that is. Wait, yes, the judges proclaim that to be a single flutter blast. A lovely change of pace there. And now the excitement is growing unbearable as the champion takes a step away from the post, and his score is 120, just 3 points short of the Paul Boomer mark, just 3 points short. If he gets one more fuzzy or two small freaks, it's all over with the shouting, and the challenger will have to return to Australia with his shattered hopes. I think everyone's heart aches for Paul Boomer. He's really a great guy, but Windesmere steps up to the post again and looks very confident as he gets ready for the killing. And here it comes, a sweep. That's 2 more points. A little small sweep was all it was, 2 points. And now it's practically over. Just one more of those little sweeps, those little 2-point sweeps, and the contest will be over. It seems as though his lordship was deliberately tormenting Boomer by dallying. But Boomer's smiling. It's a forced smile, but he's trying hard. He's sitting there trying hard to take it like the grand sportsman that he is. But he can see defeat standing ready to sweep away his dreams at almost any instant. And now Lord Windesmere steps forward and, hello, he's going to use the farthing post as final evidence, seems. Flexes his knees. It looks as though he's going to try for a high-scoring effort for a whirlwind finish, perhaps another Sisler. And now he's trying very hard. The veins are starting out on his forehead, and even the trickle of perspiration venturing down his temple seems to hesitate, so that this mighty last effort should have undivided attention. Now, the suggestion of a smile from the champion. Seems to have decided just what treatment is going to give this final bid. I see the audience, almost to a man, is on its feet, breathless and tense. He closes his eyes. A look of pure ecstasy on his face. Oh, he shits! The champion is disqualified! Ladies and gentlemen, as a special service feature, we have brought you direct from the ringside of the Maple Leaf Auditorium a blow-by-blow description of the first Crepetation contest held under international auspices. This broadcast replaced midweek meditations usually heard at this time. Your narrator, Sidney S. Brown.
It's the tree lady.
No. I was just telling you.
No? Is this the tree lady or not?
It is the tree lady.
See, so why did you deny it?
Well, because I'm trying to, I haven't given up trying to solve your problem.
No, you're not trying to solve my problem. You're trying to make me a hypochondriac like you are. You're trying to destroy. And I feel. Can I tell you something today, my tree lady friend? I feel great today.
Well,
my crud is just 90.
It's not the Melaleucas. You just said a mouthful. It's in the building. It's fungus in that air conditioner.
It's fungus? It's fungus? There's a fungus among us?
It's in the air conditioner.
Maybe we should clean it out with a sponges.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I told the gentleman.
Maybe you should drop from a bungus cord.
Can I tell you something?
From a Melaleuca tree. I'm sure a lot of people in the audience would pay to watch it.
I can't help if you won't
Some
listen.
bungus jumping.
Can I tell you something?
Did you ever try a bungus cord? I'm listening. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm waiting to hear something constructive.
A few years ago,
instead of the usual sputum that comes from your end of the phone.
WNWS had
Oh, God. Wait, they're dead. Leave them dead and buried, okay? They're like Budell already. Let them in the past.
I'm trying to prove something to you.
Yeah, you sure are. You're a bigger pest than your son with the eyes, I'll tell you that.
Well, I got rid of him.
Yeah.
Listen.
So did we.
WNWS had
Yeah.
Sandy Payton and Al
Oh,
Patel.
God, please. Why do we have to? I'm getting lockjaw from hearing about that already. We don't want to hear about that.
Well, I'm not finished.
That was
telling
right up
you.
your alley. That's why they're not on the air anymore.
Well, let me finish my point.
But you're not making any point. What is it? You're hopping and trying about W. Snooze and Sandy Payton and Alice Rantel. What's the point, honey?
These people suddenly got laryngitis. If you'll check back with them.
Yeah. We had a fungus at W. Snooze when I worked there. We had a serious problem in the studio.
And I called.
We decided there was a fungus among us.
You're
And his name was Luke Crone, yes.
Absolutely right. There was something wrong with the air conditioner when I called your station, and
Yeah.
I had the same thing in my house.
So now you're going to be the air conditioning lady, okay? You've given up on the trees. Now you're the air conditioning lady. Why can't you just be the hypochondriac lady?
No, why don't they check the air conditioner and clean out the
Why don't you butt out of our air conditioning system, okay?
Because I want to make sure you're well.
No, you don't. You just want to drive me nuts into a state of total hypochondria, and you want to just blow the whole audience away. You're starting to do this every day now. You're becoming more chronic than the eyes guy.
Well, I won't be calling you then.
You won't?
I'm only trying to.
You're never going to call us again?
I promise.
Okay. Have a great life.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Anybody want to take up any bets?
You people are so damn bad that not only you have to be bought out by that bandit Paxson, but if I wanted to buy some time on your station, I couldn't. You don't have real people at 75. You don't have it on your regular number. I was asked to be a guest on one of your talk shows, or I think it's your AM, the WIOD. They won't even call me back to tell me what the name of the show is. I was on your station in 1964. I'm a sort of prominent guy in Miami. I buy time, and I influence people who buy time. And if you people can't get it together to be a better radio station, then if you were at a Conrad station or an EBS station, I suggest that you take your damn frequency, which my grandmother's friend Jessie J put on the air in 1926, and you turn the damn thing off and get out of the business. You people ought to be ashamed of yourselves. My name is Robie Young, and the telephone number is a motel in Miami, room 13. You people ought to be ashamed. You shouldn't even be running that facility. And I used to be the boss of the damn thing in 19... And I ran the damn thing, and I'd fire your ass. You are terrible. You have no credibility in radio. Now, damn it all to piss, before I get on the phone to Petson, you get on the phone to me, and you get me to take this back, or I'm going to tell them a lot more. If the sale goes through. But it will, because you're doomed anyhow. Good luck to you.
Who's the biggest asshole just because he's fucking rich? M-I-C-K-E-Y, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. And Ritter makes my fucking kishkis twist. Oi, oi, oi! Find that Mick and grab his dick and hurl him off a bridge. M-I-C. See you real soon, asshole. K-E-Y. Why? Because you're an illiterate piece of shit. Son of a bitch.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at Carnegie Hall, where tonight we'll hear the rear-famous Barstow Badetsky with a full harmonia hole orchestra. Here's the world-famous Ass Now.
Deerfield.
I want to discuss something a little more serious, if I may.
Well, I doubt it.
Well, anyway, about 5 years ago, I was invited by the late Bill Calder to come to the station, and I spent about 45 minutes on the air with him.
Right.
I had just written a book on the history of dentistry, And he was very interested, and we got a lot of interesting calls.
Uh-huh.
But why I'm calling now is that there's been all this talk about an Elvis Presley stamp and whether people should vote for whether a young Elvis or an old Elvis and so on.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest things that has ever happened in the history of mankind happened...
You know what would be the perfect Elvis record for the stamp?
I don't know.
Stuck on You would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
That's a good...
That could be the music behind the stamp. But anyway.
Okay, now what I'm getting at is one of the greatest things that ever happened in the history of mankind.
Trying to spice the call up a little bit. Yeah.
Happened 150 years ago, 2 years from now, in 1844, and that was the discovery of anesthesia. And that was
Anesthesia?
Anesthesia.
I remember that by Pat Boone on Dot Records by 1957.
No, I'm really serious. No.
I don't want to be serious.
But there's a real point to this.
What is it? Because the audience is falling off like they're on anesthesia.
No, because there's no other... All right, the point is...
Yeah.
The point is that
what
we
is
have
the
been
point?
campaigning to try and get a postage stamp to the discoverer of anesthesia.
Yeah.
And the post office committee that handles this says that it's not of great enough significance, but apparently Elvis is more important than a man who gave...
Damn right.
Who gave the...
How many hits did they have?
Well, if you stop and think, there's no...
What?
There's no gift that was ever given to mankind that's more significant. Because with anesthesia, you can do every type of surgery that's done today.
Yeah.
Now,
well, maybe we could have one with a scalpel on it, and then we could have some stamps like with little body parts on it.
No, I think that the individual...
And one with like a thing of ether on one stamp, and then like a gas mask on the other one.
Well, the discovery...
It's just a stamp, sir. Why don't you lighten up a little bit? Who gives a crap what's on a stamp?
Well, next time that you need to have anesthesia, if you need to go to a hospital...
Well, I got news for you. If I need to have anesthesia, whether I have a stamp or not, I'm still going to get it.
Of course, but don't you think it's significant enough?
I mean, I appreciate my mother, too, but her face ain't on a stamp.
It's really very difficult talking to you.
Well, of course it is. That's the idea.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's why I'm in, huh?
I'm sorry Bill Calder is dead. I could talk to him, but it's too bad.
Well, what does that mean?
No, I mean, it's
Bill
impossible.
Calder was one of my best friends. What does that mean? You're sorry he's dead because you could talk to him. What if you didn't talk to him? Would you have like a different opinion?
No.
Then it would be okay, right?
The point is, I'm trying to generate...
A maniac.
I'm trying to generate some interest.
Well, nobody cares. Don't you understand? Bill Calder didn't give a crap about anesthesia.
Well, he called me and had me speak on his radio.
Yeah, and he told me that it was the sorriest thing he ever did. He was, to the day he died, he regretted it. On his deathbed, he told me, I only wish that I wouldn't have done that one show.
I can imagine that. I've been on the Today Show.
Oh, God, no wonder those numbers are dropping like a rock.
Larry King invited me. Okay, I'll get off your line.
Huh?
I'll get off your line. I won't bother you anymore.
Well, listen, have a great life.
Thank you.
Don't be so uptight about it. Man, he needs some serious anesthesia right now.
Thanks for the memories of your days at INC, Zeta 4 and KAT. And now you work for Cox, and Cox is good enough for me. Yes, thank you, Uncle Neil. Thanks for the hemorrhoids. Joey Reynolds, Randy Rhodes, Gary Bruce, Drew Michaels Show, and every other pain in the ass that's been through IOD's doors. Yes, thank you, Uncle Neil. 20 years in the singing business, and you haven't changed a bit. Even though you had to take their shit. From PDs to GMs, they're all like big BMs. Yes, thanks for the memories of hockey and the bird. And yes, those floating turds. And now that we think of it, your gentle, manly words like fuck you, asshole.
I can't believe it. You know, it used to be in the old days, I'd come on here, we talk about schloimies, which don't even exist. We get 50,000 people out there. Either I've lost it or I think you've lost it. I haven't lost it. You've lost it. All of you. You freaking lost it, man. I am going to say it. Fuck. How do you like that?
Thank you.
Good. I told you I'd say the F word before we were finished here today, and I just said it.
I don't give a shit anymore.